Viewers and subscribers, please make sure to subscribe to Saga News TV and give a like and share, because if you don't, you will miss out a lot of news.
Lineman attached to the St. Ann Police Division have laid several charges on a corporate era man following an incident in Limehouse, St. Ann on August 22. He has been identified as 37 years old Dave Clark of Nelson Road, Maxfield Avenue. He has been charged with robbery with aggregation, possession of a prohibited weapon, and use of a prohibited weapon to commit a felony. Reports from the St. Morant Bay police are that, on the aforementioned date, Clark, armed with a gun, went to a man's establishment and robbed him of 9 gamebacks, valued at more than $400,000, and liquor valued at more than $80,000. He then escaped in a waiting motor car. A report was made to the police and a Toyota Hiace was later intercepted. With the items found aboard, Clark was taken into custody and remanded. The owner of the items attended the station on September 13 and identified the items, with receipt as those stolen from his establishment. The receipt for the items were shown to Clark, and he was later charged after an interview. His court date is being finalized. A St. Catherine mechanic has been charged after he allegedly used his motor vehicle to hit a police officer who attempted to stop him for an alleged traffic breach. In Arfrey, St. Andrew on Wednesday, charged with assault occasioned grievous body harm, is 28 years old Ronaldo Williams of Flint Close in Elsha, Portmore. According to the Arfrey police, about 5:59 p.m. on Wednesday, a policeman observed Williams disobey a traffic light along Eastwood Park Road and signaled him to stop. Williams reportedly complied at first, but after a brief interaction, wound up his car window, ignored the officer's instruction, and then hitting the policeman with the vehicle. He spread off but was later apprehended during an operation in Arfrey Road in St. Andrew. The injured officers was taken to hospital and later released. Williams is scheduled to appear in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on October 3. Police have charged a St. Andrew landscaper after a stolen Mercedes-Benz motor car, and other valuables were recovered in Junction in the parish on September 7. Charged with burglary, receiving stolen property, and larceny of a motor vehicle is 27 years old Sean Benjamin, otherwise called Sluggy, of Temple Hall in Stony Hill. According to the Arfrey police, the Mercedes-Benz were reportedly stolen on Friday night, September 5, from a home on Wellington Drive, Kingston 6. Investigators said the owner retired to bed about 11:30 p.m. and discovered the following morning that the motor car and several high-end cellular phones, including an iPhone 15 Pro Max, valued at $1,700 were missing. Benjamin was later found in possession of the Benz. In Junction, he was taken into custody and charged. A Clarendon laborer has been charged with multiple firearm-related offenses after 3 men were shot and injured during a gun attack at a business place in neighboring Manchester in March. The accused is 42 years old Miguel Coke, otherwise called Salabaga, of the Kai Road toll gate. He is facing 3 counts of wounding with intent, as well as possession of prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. According to the Mandeville police, about 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, March 5, a group of men were at a business establishment in Victoria Town when a white Toyota Axia motor car drove up. 3 armed men got out and opened gunfire at the group, injuring 3 men. The victims were assisted to hospital, treated, and later released. Police said that on Monday, September 8, Coke allegedly confronted one of the men injured in the attack and told him that the next time he shot at him, he would die. Popular TikToker who goes by his alias Madelove has been found guilty and is awaiting a sentencing following a controversial post he made on social media, instigating violence if his preferred candidate lost a general election. 40 years old Glover Niskin, a vendor of Marlborough District, Balaclava, St. Elizabeth, was found guilty of the use of audiovisual communication to promote violence. The Black River police reports are that about 2 p.m. on August 18, Skeen posted the threatened video to his TikTok, where he reportedly stated, "If we no win, we are going to turn Jamaica in a 80. Pure Big Matic and rifle and may murder people from a party. Skin was apprehended by law enforcement on Wednesday, August 20, during a target operation in his community. He was subsequently charged following a caution statement and a question and answer session. He appeared before the Santa Cruz Parish Court on Tuesday, where he pleaded guilty. He is scheduled to return to court on Tuesday, September 23, for sentencing. 6 goats were seized and 1 man taken into custody, following the collaborative efforts of the Area 3 Agriculture Protection Branch (APB) and the St. Elizabeth Operational Support Team during an operation along the Gutters Main Road on Wednesday. Reports from the APB are that around 4:50 p.m., members of the team signaled a driver of an AD wagon to stop. He complied, and 4 rams valued at $450,000 were discovered in the trunk of the vehicle. The driver was interviewed and then arrested after failing to adequately account for the goats. His identity is being withheld pending further investigation. Police in St. Catherine are searching for a man who allegedly sexually assaulted a 15-year-old girl during a break-in at her home on Thursday. The Center for Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse is leading the probe, which is being investigated as indecent assault, rape, burglary, and assault at common law. According to police reports, about 4 a.m. on September 11, the teen was at home in a rural St. Catherine community when a man armed with a gun entered through a window. The intruder allegedly pointed the gun at the girl, threatening her to remain quiet, and then raped her. He escaped from the dwelling after the assault. The victims later told relatives of her ordeal, and the matter was reported to the police. An investigation has since been launched. An investigation is underway to ascertain the identity of a man whose body was found floating near a beach along Elsha Main Road in St. Catherine on Friday. According to police reports, about 4:04 p.m., a passerby alerted authorities to the partially decomposed body, which was subsequently pulled ashore. On arrival, officers note that the man, dressed only in a pair of sneakers, appeared to be dark complexion, approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall, and estimated to be between 28 or 32 years old. The body was removed to the Spanish Town Hospital, where it was pronounced dead. The police are awaiting a post-mortem examination to determine the cause of death. A taxi driver was shot dead late Friday night after 2 men posing as passenger reportedly attacked him during a trip in Portmore, St. Catherine. The unidentified driver, who was operating a Toyota Probox motor car, was killed after he complied with the man's request to stop along a section of Greater Portmore. According to police reports, about 10:50 p.m., the cabbie was traveling along West Anderson Boulevard when he was hired by 2 men pretending to be passengers. Upon reaching Southeast 4th Street, 2 East near Josephine Riley Park in Greater Portmore, the man asked him to pull over. When he did, one of the men reportedly exited the vehicle, pulled a firearm and shot the driver in the upper body. The wounded man lost control of the taxi, which crashed into a nearby drain. He was later assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. A St. James security guard who was arrested in late August on suspicion of being involved in several robberies in the division and neighboring parish has been formally charged. Shaquille Goldsmith, 26, otherwise called Siki, of Bonnet View Mountain, Mount Salem, has been charged in relation to 2 incidents so far, and detectives are continuing to review evidence. In other reported case, in charge of possession of a prohibited weapon, using of a firearm to commit a felony, assault with intent to rob, and wounded with intent, have been laid in relation to an incident at Chambers Drive in Granville in the parish. On August 24, reports from the Montego Bay police are that about 9:14 p.m., Goldsmith and another man attempted to rob a convenience store. During their attempt, Goldsmith allegedly used a firearm to hit a man in his face multiple times, causing wound that bleeds. Goldsmith has also been charged in relation to an incident in Bloody Bay, Hanover on September 10. It is reported that between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m., 2 armed men entered a business establishment and robbed the cashier of $25,000. They also reportedly took 2 stouts that valued at $1,000 and 6 packs of cigarettes valued at $6,000. The man also allegedly pulled firearm at a security guard on duty who tried to intervene as they escape. Lawman apprehended Goldsmith during an intelligence-led operation. A court date is being arranged. 23 years old Nicole Thomas, a laborer of Middleton District St. Thomas, has been charged with murder following an incident in his community on September 1. The deceased has been identified as 22 years old H. Brian, a mechanic also from Middleton District. Reports from the Morant Bay police are that at 8 a.m., Thomas visited Brian's home where they engaged in a brief conversation. While they spoke, Thomas took a knife from his waistband and inflicted a stab wound to Brian's chest. He ran but was chased and stabbed several times before his attacker escaped in the area. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, Brian was transported to hospital where he was pronounced dead. An investigation was launched into the matter, and Thomas was taken into custody during an operation. A day later, he was charged on Wednesday after he was pointed out on an ID parade, and he participated in an interview in the presence of his attorney. His court date is been finalized. The police have charged 2 teen boys over the thief of cash from a house in Temple St. Andrew between August 18 and 20. The two, who are 15, will not be named, as they are children. According to the police statement issued on Saturday, the boys are accused of stealing items of thousands of dollars that had been stored under a mattress. Investigators say the money was kept by a banker for a community partner plan. The statement did not issue the specific sum alleged stolen. Following investigation, the teenagers were taken into custody and later charged with larceny from the dwelling after a question and answer session.